Mhm. Mhm. Read it, please.
Yeah, okay. But I tell you that everyone will have to give account on the day of judgment for every empty word they have spoken.
Mm. Every empty word on the day of judgment, God will be like, "Why'd you say this? Why'd
Matthew
you say
12,
that?"
36. You read 37 too?
Yes, reread it again,
Oh,
and then yeah.
but I tell you that everyone will have to give account on the day of judgment and for every empty word that they have spoken.
Uh-huh.
For by your words you will be acquitted, and
Mm-hmm.
by your words you will be condemned.
Mm-hmm. So your words justifies you, and your words condemn you. In another version, it says, "By your words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned." So that's why we have to stay accountable by the words we say. Sometimes we can slip up and say something. Go ahead.
Just on the words that you say or the words that you think as well?
It's because the words that we say come from the words that we think. The words that we say is coming from the abundance of the things that we think. So if we meditate on the things that we think, eventually it'll become words. So the words that we entertain is also a sin. So for example, if we keep entertaining, like we meditate on something that we're going to say to someone that hurt us. So we're constantly making scenarios in our mind. And we're like, I gotta tell them this. I'm so excited to tell them this. Really? Go ahead.
So I was gonna ask you a question like that earlier, but I didn't know how to articulate it.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, like, is every thought our own? Because if it isn't, then wait, okay, what am I trying to say? Okay, so like, let's say you have a negative thought, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the time that comes from like your heart and like the things that you dwell on. But like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes can it just be a random thought from the enemy and it doesn't have anything to do with like
Right.
okay.
Right. Because the example I just gave, when Peter was saying, when Peter rebuked Jesus, and then Jesus says, "Get behind me, Satan," and then Jesus says, "For you are not mindful," where his mind was at, mindful of the things of God. So his mind was not on the things of God, so that gave the enemy an opportunity to speak through Peter to Jesus. That makes sense? Okay. Anyone else? Go ahead.
But conversely, if you don't say the things you do, could that be just as detrimental?
Say that again.
Like, if you don't say the things you're thinking, could that be just as detrimental? Like, I know we're not speaking our mind all the time, but
Mm-hmm.
if you're not truly communicating how you think or how you feel, is that like lying?
So are you saying, well, you can communicate how you feel and what you mean, but in a kind way. So it doesn't have to be, oh, you do this, you did this to me and stuff like that. Because a soft answer turns away wrath. So whenever we're speaking to someone, it doesn't always have to be like you're coming for the person. It doesn't have to be like I'm out here to get you. It could be like in a kind way. Hey, I feel like you did this to me. I feel like you hurt me, so I wanted to bring it up. And it's not just about what we say; it's how we say it too. Because what we say, how we say it, can hurt the person also. Like if we're saying it with a strong, even though you can put passion in it, but when we're saying it with like to hurt the person, or when we're saying it to like something very vivid, sometimes that can hurt the person because that may not be the language that the person receives.
I think also, like, I think it depends, like, if it can be positively or negatively. Like, obviously, if it's something that's positive that can build somebody up and you don't say it, like, I feel like that could be detrimental because we're supposed to speak life to people.
Right.
Versus if you're, like, constantly being negative, like, obviously, like, we shouldn't be speaking.
Right. All right. That's good. Anybody else before we move on to the two verses and that's it? Okay. All right. So this is it right there. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace to the hearer. First thing, it says, let no corrupt communication. If it says let, that means we can control it. There is no excuses. Oh, that's who I am. That's how I've been for years. If you're in Christ, you are a new what? Creation. So the old things have passed and all things have become new. So we're not what we used to be. So therefore, our words are not our words are not the way it used to be. So we have new things to say now. We don't say, it says, let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth. So we don't have to keep proceeding corrupt things out of our mouth. We don't have to keep cussing out Johnny or Jamila. And then it says, but that which is good to the use of edifying. Edifying is basically helping someone, a blessing, kind of like a blessing someone. So one thing I want to point out is, but that which is good to the edifying, that it may minister, underline that, grace to the hearer. So whenever you're speaking, you're actually ministering. Did you guys get that? So whoever is hearing you is actually receiving ministry. Every time you speak, you're ministering something. The question is, what are you ministering to that person? And it says, let your speech always be with grace, seasoned with salt. Highlight that you may know how you ought to answer to each one. Salt in the Old Testament was used as a preservation. Salt, especially. That's one of the reasons why Jesus used the language, you are the salt of the earth, because we're able to preserve the earth. Just like he says, we're the light of the world and stuff like that. He says, be seasoned with salt. Let your speech be seasoned with salt. And that's also one of the reasons why when Lot's wife turned around, she turned into what? A pillar of salt. And then Jesus later on mentioned, remember Lot's wife, because she was preserved so for the generations to come, so they know what would come if they were to turn away from what they left behind. So salt in the Old Testament is used for preservation. So food, for example, if they put salt in food, it would preserve it for a long time. If they put salt in anything, it would preserve it for a long time. So when it says, let your speech be with grace, seasoned with salt. So our speech should be seasoned with salt, so we are not corrupted from within. So if our speech is not seasoned with salt, then corrupt communication will come from our mouth. Does that make sense? Meaning, seasoned with salt, meaning constantly speak things that are life-giving to other people. Constantly speaks things that are life-giving to yourself. That way, no corrupt communication will proceed out of your mouth. Does that make sense? Yeah, even things like sarcasm can be bad too. I'm working on my sarcasm. So it's done. So when someone comes to you, they should not be depleted. They should be full. How good would it feel if you come to, like, whenever you know that someone, when you speak to someone, that person is going to encourage you, or that person is going to bring you life, you always want to talk to them. So the question is, if your words are depleting someone, then people will start to leave you. But if your words are filling someone up, you'll see people coming to talk to you every time. So conclusion, before you speak, pause and consider your words. Instead of speaking your mind, pause and consider your words. Number 2, speak words that bring life. Number 3, pray this prayer. I think it's in your notes also, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right, pray this. Set guard. Okay. Set guard, O Lord, over my mouth. Keep watch over the door of my lips. So we have to surrender our mouth to God, so the corrupt communication does not come from our mouth. So we're going to do small group. Myra, Frank, and Joy. Yes. I'm sorry. Myra, Frank, and Joy. Myra number 1, Joy number 2, Frank 3. 1, 2, 3. 1 go with Myra, 2 go with Joy, 3 go with Frank. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2,